Hello and welcome to Clay to Canopy, the show where I attempt to make just about everything from the ground up. It is time for me to start dreaming big. I am going to make a vision board. It being the Halloween season and all, as you can probably tell by the setup behind me, I have finished binge watching the last two seasons of The Good Witch, and one of the things that they were doing were making vision boards, and it reminded me of the vision board I had started ages ago and got as far as mapping out my grid and dreaming about trees, but never went that far. It probably is going to take me a while to do this because I'm going to be doing this in downtime, like as if I don't need another project. But at the moment, I am currently working on the last piece to the Halloween installation, the table, and I'm waiting for things to dry. And I have a bit of time in between, so I thought I'd start making my vision board. If you follow me on Instagram, then you probably have seen I made a garden planner system for my garden here to kind of map out things, and I made a bunch of felt fruits and vegetables. This was something I never videoed. This is sort of going to be along that lines because I'm going to be using similar processes, but I will be incorporating a little bit more because for me, I cannot just make a vision board with a bunch of paper magazine cutouts of things. I dream in 3D and I'm an artist, so I'm going to build a three-dimensional vision board, or essentially a model, a giant model of what I envision for the future of myself and the future of this channel. I am about halfway through the process and I kind of am like bouncing all over the place right now as I do. I have taken a month off, a little bit more than a month off. I am nowhere near as far into this process that I want it to be. I do need to do a lot of pre-shooting before I can color everything together. That's why things are in different stages, where I'm working on this separate building at the same time. At night I'm adding the siding to the main house, and it looks like in my mess it's all scattered, but because I'm working on every little piece all at the same time, I don't have a video each week. I actually started this vision board in the middle of October. Here we are 2 months later and I'm still chugging along. Anyway, needless to say, I have taken a pause because I needed to catch up on filming and wanted to bank videos. This is the vision for my future. This project is probably the most personal thing I'm taking on. For me, it is not just this like model making thing. This is the dream that I have for myself, for this channel, for what I want to get to in the end. What I envision seeing happening here is the front of this house is inspired by a Queen Anne Victorian-esque feel, and this carriage house is going to be a stone front as if you had a traditional carriage house. But then when we address the back of the house, you can walk through and the back side of the house becomes this forest, and I want the back half of this to look like a covered bridge, and this is going to be cabin feel, and it will open up onto a lake and onto a forest. But then the front of the house, I envision an English kitchen garden as you're walking up to the house. And I have two different plots. I will be making, my gosh, these trees just don't want to stay put. I will be making a glass atrium. Every witchy inspired house has their herbs that are like really close by. But over here on this board, I see as a separate plot of land. I always said one of my main goals was to ride a horse to work. This other separate plot of land is going to have tiny cabins. I am going to be doing a Cricut video. I'm going to build a model and go through the steps of converting that into an SVG file so that I can cut and make multiple paper models of the same buildings. I did have several students come to me and ask me to do more Cricut-oriented things, and the tiny little buildings are going to be all geared towards a specific craft medium. So I will have a building that is geared towards ceramic. I will have, a building that is just for woodworking, some for stained glass, and basically they're going to be tiny little garage-sized buildings to do just that one specific craft in. I also see it as a place where I would be doing future videos. In my grand fantasy of what all of this will become, this was a little bit of filling a niche for some things that some students have asked me for, model making techniques that can be applied and used for other things that students have been asking me for, that I'm trying to incorporate within this series. And I thought the start of the new year, New Year's resolution type of deal. Anyhow, I thank you for sticking around with me through this journey, and I hope you enjoy seeing this vision board come together.